In last video, we focused on slope-intercept form, and so now we're going to focus on a second type of form of an equation of a line, and that is point slope. Point slope is this y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So what do all of these things represent? Well, hopefully again, we recognize m. M is our slope. And then now, because it is called point slope, we already have the slope right here. The other part of this is a point. So we have x1, y1 is what makes up this point of x1, y1. Okay, I'm going to put a little comma in here in a different color. I don't want that comma to get confused with the 1. So x1, comma, y1. Just like, if I can find it here, just like with slope-intercept form, it's not a creative name, right? Why is this called slope-intercept form? Because it gives me the slope and it gives me the y-intercept. This is called point slope form. We use this when I have a point. We put that into our x1, y1, and when I have the slope. Example 4a is the perfect example. Find the equation of a line with the given properties. Express your answer in either general form, nope, or slope-intercept form of the equation of a line. So we're going to put this in slope-intercept form, which is our y equals mx plus b. So the thing is, we need to make sure we solve this for y. So example A, we have a line with a slope of 3, and it contains this point 2, -4. This is the perfect time to use this because that's the exact information I have. I have the slope and I have the point. So this slope right here is my m, and this point is my x1 and my y1. So I'm going to just rewrite this formula right here. We have y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And now substitute in. I have nothing here labeled as y, so it comes down, minus my y1, which is a -4. Okay, again, two negatives, just like before, minus from the formula, and then my y1 is negative. Equals my slope of 3. X, I have nothing labeled as x, so it comes down, minus x1, which is 2. So I'm going to clean this up. Minus a negative makes that y plus 4. And then here, I am going to distribute in this 3. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times a -2 is -6. Last thing, to get y by itself, I need to move this +4. The opposite of +4 is a -4. So we get y equals 3x minus 10. So now if we graph this with a y-intercept at -10 and a slope of 3 or 3/1, it should eventually cross this point right here. Now B doesn't look quite the same. It's going to kind of put everything together, truly. And it requires a little bit of extra work here. In this one, I was given my slope in 1 point. This one, I'm given 2 points. So what I don't have from this formula right here is my slope. But I do have a way to solve for slope with 2 points. That is from the very first page here, the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to write my formula for my slope. I'm going to kind of do a little squiggly to break this up and use some extra room here. I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to label my points. This is x1, y1. My second point is my x2, y2. It's always x comma y, ones togethers, twos togethers. Now substitute in. Y2 is 3 minus y1, which is 5. X2 is -3 minus a -4. When I minus a -4, that becomes +4. So 3 minus 5 is -2 over 1. We get a slope of -2. So now I have my slope, and I actually have a surplus of points. I have a slope, and I have 2 points. Just pick a point. I'm going to pick x1, y1, this first one, just so it matches my formula here, but you get the exact same answer if you pick x2, y2. So I'm going to write my formula down here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And I'll substitute everything in. Y minus my y1, which is 5, equals my slope. We just found that here to be -2. X minus my x1 is a -4. So again, minus this -4 becomes +4. The same 2 steps every time. The first thing we're going to do is distribute in our slope. So we have y minus 5 equals -2x minus 8. And then get y by itself by adding or subtracting whatever's over here with it. So +5. And we get y equals -2x minus 3. So now we have a line that contains both of these 2 points. If you were to plot your y-intercept at -3 and then use your slope of -2 over 1, we would eventually get both of those ordered pairs right there. Continuing on to the next page, we have part C and D. And in your homework, I'm not sure what the instructions are exactly, but what I will tell you is, don't make this more complicated than it needs to be. When you have this right here, look for your ordered pairs. Looks like we have one right here. It almost looks like there's one right here, but it's a little bit higher than that too. So it looks like maybe here. One thing we can do is we can write these 2 ordered pairs down. This is -4, -3, and this is 0, 4. And we can do what we did here. Now that I have my 2 ordered pairs, use your slope formula to find your slope, and then use your point slope formula to get into your y equals mx plus b form. But if you're given a graph, you're given everything you need. If I'm needing to put this into my y equals mx plus b form, I need my slope and I need my y-intercept. My slope, we calculate by rise over run. So from the lower point to the higher point, what is my rise? We are going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units for my rise. And then my run, we are going over 1, 2, 3, 4. And because it's moving to the right with all these positive numbers, it's a +4. Okay, I can't reduce that at all. So here we have y equals 7 over 4x, and then I need my b. Well, where is this crossing our y-axis at? It is crossing right here at 0, 4. So I have my y-intercept as well. That is my equation. From that, I can calculate the slope by rise over run, and then I can figure out where is it crossing that y-intercept by where is it crossing that y-axis right here. So don't make it more complicated than it has to be. You don't have to find the slope using this formula here and then using your point slope if you are given that graph. That graph tells you everything. Now, really and truly, we get it, everything we need from this as well. If I need y equals mx plus b, I need my slope and I need my y-intercept. From this table here, I'm going to find my slope by using delta y over delta x. What is my change in y here? How am I going from 8 to 11, to 11 to 14, to 14 to 17? We're increasing by 3. And then what is my delta x? How am I going from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and 2 to 3? We are adding 1. So we have a slope of 3. And then I need my y-intercept again. Your y-intercept is always in the form of 0, comma b. Okay, y-intercept is 0, comma b. So what we are looking for is a 0 and the x. A 0 and the x. And I have that right here. So my y-intercept is at 0, 8. So there is my b. Now, if I didn't have 0, comma a number, that wouldn't be as straightforward, but you should be given that y-intercept based off of that table. Okay, if we refer back to example 1, all we were asked to do here was find the slope. We found it to be -3, but here, what's my y-intercept? My y-intercept is at 0, -2. So there's your b again. So you're looking for, where is that 0 at?